Hello. Um, this is a little off the cuff here, but I figured that I'd rather talk about the show right now because it is going to end officially as of this week. But this Beheneko, the elf girl's cat, is secretly an S rank monster. It's not good. Yes, we have a brand new generic isekai anime show called Beheneko, the elf girl's cat secret S rank monster, which is a show that originally, when I first got wind of it, I was kind of curious about because of a few reasons, right? So, for one, this is under Zero Gene Saberworks Studios, which, when doing my research on Saberworks Studios, they were basically a brand spanking new studio upon their first creation of this anime. So, I have no really reference to pull from at that point. But then when I pulled apart Zero Cheese Studios, this studio right here actually had something way more than I initially thought. So Zero Cheese Studios actually was the main brains for some pretty big anime series that you may have heard about at one point or another. From the One Room series, which they adapted two seasons of, season two and season three, to the amazing and from what I've heard, Grand Blue, which is a show I gotta watch when I have the chance. And furthermore, um, since the times of Grand Blue, they've just been on this weird spiral of just coming out with pump and dumping these trashy anime shows that are either good or just not good enough to be like the best that there is to it. So when this show first was announced, I went to Beheneko with pretty high expectations. I was thinking that, hey, maybe this is gonna be like a fun bad show. After all, it can't be as stupid or as weird as like being like a spider, for example, or being reincarnated as a sword, for example, or even as a pig. It especially can't be as dumb and stupid and really one dimensional like being reincarnated as a vending machine, right? Or it can't even go into like the most fucked up dark territories of our mind where one of the main protagonists gets isekai as a dog. Yeah, we don't want to talk about this show. No, no. This time around, instead of all the above that I mentioned, now the main character gets reincarnated as, you guessed it, a cat. And what does the cat's name is? Oh, the cat's name is Tama. This is the cat right here. And pretty much with what you see a lot of these generic isekai anime shows, the dude dies from his last world, gets reincarnated to, in this case, a cat, and is taken up upon these new protagonists, Arya, Stella, Vulcan, etc. And pretty much the whole premise of the show is that it's just them getting stronger, power creeping their way, and we're slowly but surely showcasing like why they are the way they are and why they're getting stronger and what's their purpose now that they become warriors and how are they able to resolve all these problems. Well, a lot of it gets resolved because their cat Tama is actually super broken and actually can turn to a behemoth. And again, while that concept is really cool, it has a trashy moment in it. There are moments of the show where it's just super boring. The fights are really one dimensional and derivative. Again, I mean, it's not as bad as the other shows I've mentioned that kind of go on this premise, right? But Beheneko is just one of those shows that really is struggling to keep the viewer's attention like fully awake. Because there are moments in the show where I swear to God, I kind of was like falling asleep like once we got into like the third or fourth episode in, and simultaneously the final episodes of the show, especially with this up and coming final episode for the week, it feels like it's trying to end off like this. Oh yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna defeat the Demon King, and we're gonna do it because of the power of friendship, the power of love, and it's so cliche, it's so predictable. I can't really say much else about it. Beheneko is definitely one of those shows that, while it's definitely not as super fucked up as like the Inukai San's dog anime that I mentioned, it's really, really boring. It's really bland. It's really generic. It's just another copy and paste isekai anime trope that just isn't bringing a lot of flavor to what it is. The jokes half the time don't even hit. I swear to God, one of the massive sins that this show also commits is that every freaking episode somehow decides to sprinkle in, like, oh, we're in a hot tub now, we're in a bathroom scene, and we're gonna be bathing with the cat so that you guys are paying attention to us because we have all the fan service provided for you. and such. And at one point, it's fine. I don't mind fan service in an anime, but this is just the definition of like, hey, when you're trying so hard to like really put fan service in each of your episodes, and it's in the same goddamn scene, the same freaking area, you know you're not being creative about it. I've seen shows that offer fan service and they do a really creative way of like, even if like let's say the show is boring, there are ways where maybe the fan service for each episode is different, unique, and maybe keep it interesting. Here, it's just the same fan service over and over again. The voice acting also gets to graying after a while. Like, trust me when I say this, some of the voice acting in the show is really annoying to where you kind of just want to like mute the episodes half the time. It's pretty bad. And again, I've been talking all lot about the show, how bad it is. What are there any good things about the show? I mean, if you're into like the isekai generic slop, I mean, this is for you, I guess. But for me, this just isn't it. It's not hitting as well. And yeah, I just want to make this quick video because, like I said, this thing kind of was super boring, really underwhelming. Not surprising too, considering that I went to the show with little to no expectations after all. And yeah, I just want to say that Beheneko, the anime, is just not good. And if I had to rate this show overall, given the premise, given that it is eerily similar to this cursed show right here, I would unironically give the show at least like a light two. It's again, and in this case, this show is bad, but it's not like borderline super fucked up as the Inukai son's dog is. Which again, I understand there's going to be people making comparisons to this show here, but I implore you that the Beheneko anime is not going in that territory of like, what the hell is this? It's just again another throwaway isekai slop that's similar to the Vending Machine isekai, the pig anime, the sword isekai, or even the spider isekai. So yeah, Beheneko, the show, it's just not good.